Here we are.
I live for that crash. I love that crash. Welcome, everyone. Gong to the news and updates. Sometimes I feel like it's the Gong Show, don't you? We are
It is the Gong Show.
It is the Gong Show. We are so glad you are here with us.
Thanks, Laurel. And thanks to everyone here for another news and update show that covers the news you need to know from in and around our AltSpace VR community and beyond.
Woohoo! For 4 years, we've been bringing you the news from the metaverse and AltSpace VR every Saturday. Miss a show, you can catch it on YouTube, and there's no time to, if you have no time to jump into AltSpace VR, join us on the live stream on YouTube or Twitch. And just remember, we film the audience during our discussions, and if there's time, so be ready for that. We also report on the news you need to know throughout the week on our News and Updates Discord.
We are not AltSpace VR employees. We're volunteer and community members. And we do this because the community is important to us and you are important to us. It takes a village to support this community.
Indeed. We also wish to thank all of our volunteers who help make this possible and are the moderators, the photographers, the various reporters who help us gather the news and report it to us so we can report it to you every week.
You're the reason we're all here. So let's get this party started. Now let's start with some AltSpace VR news.
Oh, AltSpace VR announced this week some changes to improve user safety and moderation.
They announced that they're moving into phase 3 of the MSA integration plan, which means I have to get my button gear here. This means that if you haven't switched your legacy account over to a Microsoft account, you need to do that by May 31st. Today is May 28th. I'm saying that more for myself than anybody else.
Yeah,
here,
I know it.
Anyway,
it's like, okay.
Really?
Most people, so this is phase 3. So we've been warned about this for quite a while, and I
Yes,
jumped
we
around
have.
for during phase two. I went into panic mode, but now trying to figure out which ones are linked and which ones aren't. So most people who joined AltSpace VR in the past year or so are automatically on Microsoft accounts. Few people have been struggling with switching over. We get that, but the AltSpace VR support team has been helping people through the support ticket system. So if you're struggling, file a ticket, please.
If you don't switch over before May 31st, you may lose your avatar, profile, and friends lists if you have to create a new account. The same thing happened when AltSpace VR responded to the GDPR privacy protections, and everyone had to create a new account or enroll in the new process to preserve their profile data in 2017.
I was one of them. That was painful. Access to the Microsoft account system will be great for holoportation events and embracing new features that are currently on trial in the enterprise version of AltSpace VR and the updated Microsoft Teams feature.
AltSpace VR also announced new reporting features on the People tab to provide additional ways to flag users, events, and even worlds to ensure safety, security, and to report violations of the AltSpace VR community standards and terms of service, and to keep you safe.
Age gating is a new feature that allows adult event creators to mark their events as mature with an orange tag and add warnings before entering and block underage users from joining, as if nobody lies when they set up their accounts. This and other goodies will be rolling out in the next week or so, so get ready for the next update. I can't wait.
Fluent U, that's just the letter U, a popular English language and foreign language culture blog. And they also, it's a platform where they offer learning lessons in different languages. They researched the best apps and platforms in the metaverse to learn English, and among the options were AltSpace VR. As many of you have experienced, new users arrive daily to experiment and practice English. So this is no surprise. And you know what, Laurel? I met a guy here, I don't know, a few months ago. I think he was from Germany. He spoke English and he said all of his English he learned right here in AltSpace. He didn't know any English and he learned all his English here in AltSpace.
Oh, that is so cool. That is also so
Yeah.
sad. Because I know what words you all use. I understand that you try to use those in a proper grammatical sentence, but I have heard you all, and I'm one of those. My English sucks. So if anybody's learning from me, you are in trouble.
Well, at least
Anyway,
they're learning real English and not
well, yes, it's
TikTok
real
English,
English.
right?
As one of my students, I taught, when you live overseas, you become an English teacher no matter what. That's just you end up teaching and helping. And I had a student who said he didn't want to speak American. He wanted to speak American with no A in front of it. That was beautiful. The reporter said that the AltSpace VR is ideal for social learners as you have the opportunity to engage with real people in real time and play games, attend events, and meet people from over 150 countries. Love that.
Yes. And speaking of meeting people, an article by a 5G developer for Ericsson published his article this week, her article, remembering the first person she met and spoke with in VR. She was in AltSpace VR in 2020. Man said hello and asked her what brought her to this space.
When she admitted that she'd just purchased the headset and was trying it out, he asked her what led to that investment. She admitted that she was working as a developer for 5G with Ericsson and asked how long he had been working with VR.
His reply was 54 years. 54 years. That threw her. She learned that the first person she met in AltSpace VR was Tom Furness, the grandfather of VR, a pioneer, inventor, and professor at the University of Washington and founder of the first VR university lab in the world.
Just goes to show ya, you never know who you're going to meet in AltSpace VR.
Oh, yes.
Now, that meetup led to a deeper connection and a relationship for the author about to have a better understanding about the power of the metaverse. And we shared that article in our AltSpace VR news channel on our news and updates Discord for you to read. If you want to meet Tom Furness yourself and have that same experience, he's got a few more years under his belt now since then, since 2020. Please check out the Virtual World Society events every 2 weeks here in Altspace VR.
Microsoft updated and released new articles in the mixed reality and Altspace VR document support, including answering questions about VR motion sickness and attempts to manage it with improved hardware and software.
They left out the most important thing. They found scientifically chewing gum helps. Now, they've also released, that's a hint you can give for anybody that
Oh, I
suffers with it,
thought you were
mint is better.
joking,
No,
Laurel. I
it's
thought that was a
true.
joke.
It's true. No,
Oh,
it's true. Mint flavor, spearmint, wintergreen, stuff like those
ooh.
actually been successful in all kinds of motion sickness, but it also works in VR. So I have students who just buy it by the bulk. They've also released an updated. We're going to keep the plastic gum chewers in going. Okay, they've also released an updated support document on how to back up your worlds. They clarify that when you back up your world using the native backup features in the world editor, pay attention to this, it backs up the artifacts or the kit objects, labels, teleporters, spawn points, photos, MREs, and native apps like holograms against reality or the interactables.
What's not included are layout overrides, skyboxes, ambient sound, templates, instructions, and world roles and contextual roles. If you created your world in Kits and Unity, make sure you back up those files yourself and please use version control. You can also create another world and import that world into it to preserve it, just in case.
Yeah, we do that sometimes. We love our beautiful worlds, virtual worlds here in Altspace VR. So please, 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 please take time to manually back up your worlds. Back up your words too. Altspace VR does this for you automatically, but make your effort a conscious one. Back up every time. I have to remember this all the time. Before
Mhm.
you make major changes to world, back up, back up, back up, back up, and then you have at least a kind of an undo if you
Yep.
really screw it up.
I see people raising
Amen.
their hands.
I know. It's like hail, hail. Yes, indeed. Yeah.
One
It's
of
not a perfect backup, but it's something, you can it's kind of like a little bit of a restore point. And so back up,
it's
back up.
better than nothing.
You got it.
One of our favorite VR citizen reporters, Ryan Schultz, was interviewed by the Globe and Mail recently, and the article is just out. It asks the question: is the metaverse the future of the internet? Ryan escorted the reporter through Altspace VR and VR chat as part of their interview.
Interesting combination. The article
I wonder if they
was
went to Murder 4. Oh, go ahead,
oh, who
Laurel.
knows? Yeah, probably. Or one of
I
the
see
rides.
Garrett waving his hands in the back.
Yeah, that one too. Yeah. Or it was one of the spinning pukes. One of those would be good. Anyway, the article was all over the map of the good and bad elements of the metaverse because so many people have a hard time translating this, as they write it up. But the numbers that they mentioned caught our attention from a recent Forrester research poll that found among those who understand what the metaverse is, 34% are excited about the idea. Now, this was a small poll. We have another one coming up later. However, 76% of marketing and business executives plan to allot part of their budgets towards the metaverse this year.
The study estimated that nearly half of the people will become metaverse users, speculating that adoption will be limited to gamers and social media. That kind of surprises me too. Where's the business aspect? But that
Yeah.
number is huge and it lacks context. So we are inspired.
There's other stuff in that research. But congratulations to Ryan and others who proudly represented the enthusiasm and passion that we share for the metaverse, especially for what we've created here in Altspace VR.
Now, yesterday, Stands with Trees, the leader of the diversity team with educators in VR, along with Steph and Laurel, led a powerful memorial service to honor the thousands of children lost to the resident school program in Canada and the US. And he combined it with a beautiful memorial to the child victims of school shootings and violence in the US, especially in light of this week's horrific event in Texas.
The memorial included a slide representing the names U.S. the past 40 to 50 years. It broke my heart because like 3 or 4 of these schools are not far from me. It was a stunning list that covered the whole country, and it really broke our hearts.
I stood there and I read that list, and I knew there were a lot of schools, but I didn't realize it was that many.
Yeah.
So
These are
part of the
these are just the ones
power,
where 2 or more children were killed. That does not include all the schools where there've been shooting and no deaths.
that's
There have been
yeah,
shootings that had
that's
15 to 20 people seriously injured with no death. But that doesn't include them.
wow.
It's a huge list.
That's
It's
that is
terrifying.
that's it is terrifying. And part of the power of events like these in alt space is to inform and educate and motivate, to change hearts and minds around the world. Many people attending from outside of North America were shocked that these events happened. They shared their own experiences and familiarity with similar events in their lives.
We want to thank Stands with Trees for his ongoing efforts to educate us about the atrocities of the resident school program as more bodies are are uncovered even today, and for helping us all grieve and deal with the reality of gun violence against our children. Thank you so much. Now, the Microsoft Build Developers Conference that we've been telling you about was this week finally for developers, but not for general consumers. Okay. So the metaverse was a hot topic as expert developers and engineers discussed the architecture that will support the metaverse.
Holoportation, Microsoft Mesh, cloud services, AI integration, and progressive WebPass and WebXR for browsers and websites were very hot topics. Improvements and new features were announced with the Microsoft Store and the hybrid loop that we've mentioned here before.
It's a cross-platform capability and architecture that improves the deployment and running of applications in the cloud through AI with AI through Azure or local clients, and all part of the future of the metaverse and our software and hardware future. Really exciting stuff.
Absolutely. And one of the things that we love building in Altspace VR are worlds associated with climate change and preservation of nature. We love worlds like Karen 666's The Ocean, Food Waste, and Plastic Mountain, and dramatic apocalyptic versions of the world devastated by pollution, like in Plastopia 2063 by Don Quilla.
Now, the Massachusetts High Court this week ruled that the U.S.'s largest oil company, Mobil, oh my goodness, I lived in Mobile, so that's how they pronounce
Oh,
ExxonMobil, must face a trial over accusations that it lied about the climate crisis and it covered up the fossil fuel industry's role in contributing to the crisis and polluting. This is one of many international lawsuits that finally seeing the light of day that might help change the system of greed that has ruined our planet and so many lives. Let's just, I can live in hope, right?
yeah, absolutely. So, thank you to all of the amazing world builders and event hosts who bravely tackle this important subject to help build awareness, but also to help us express our frustrations and outrage creatively. If you know of an educational style world that helps us better understand and appreciate climate change, please share it here with us in our News and Updates Discord, and we might share it right here in News and Updates.
Now, happy 200th birthday to the oldest computer. Yes, 200. Yeah, that's kind of shocking, isn't it? 200. English mathematician Charles Babbage was so frustrated by the manual method of calculating and editing astronomical tables, he exclaimed, I wish to God these calculations had been executed by steam. Steam
Not
powered,
that
not
steam,
not
though.
that steam, steam power, other steam. His friend, mathematician John Herschel, agreed and inspired Babbage to create his difference engine, a machine that used a clockwork mechanism to solve polynomial equations.
He presented his theory paper in 1822 and designed the machine with over 25,000 parts. The difference engine number 2 required only 8,000 parts and and was more elegant and efficient and was estimated to weigh only 5 tons. The machine had the capacity of 16 digitals and 6 orders of difference, and the calculation was not powered by steam, but by hand crank.
That's a lot of
Yeah, it sure
cranking.
is.
Yeah. Now, this is why we bring this up and we celebrate this. The machine impressed not only the intellectual society, but Ada Bryan Lovelace not only understood the power of this machine, but she came to be recognized by many as the mother of modern computers. It was her work, along with their mutual friend Charles Wheatstone, the inventor of stereoscopic optics, which led to 3D photography and virtual reality, that changed the world together. Wouldn't you have wanted to be in that room with those three people?
Wow.
Seriously. So we give credit and wish happy difference engine birthday to Charles Babbage over 200 years ago in June. So thank you. It's an invaluable part of our VR history. You never know how those connections are made.
No, you don't, do you? It's pretty incredible when you reach back and think about all that. So, on to some COVID news. Reports from around the world, and especially in Europe and the US, are that COVID cases are rising faster than they estimated. The US CDC reports 86% of Americans now live in communities with high COVID transmission, and 95% live where there is substantial transmission. The BA.2 subvariants of Omicron are increased contagion.
Many areas in the world are reporting their sixth or seventh wave of infections since the pandemic began. The number of hospitalizations is increasing, although the death rate is not so much. People are dying, it's just a number game. But researchers are finding that even with mild cases, many are facing long term health issues that we're only starting to uncover, and including the devastating long COVID.
Estimates in the states are that 500,000 new infections are happening daily, and this is considered the second largest wave to strike the country. Europe and other parts of the world are starting to report the same. Many cities and states are recommending masking inside again, so please be careful. We're not done with this.
And just remember, places like AltSpace VR, it's the safest place you can go to connect with people.
Yay.
No risk here. It's a virtual condom. All right, now it is time to talk VR hardware. We love us some hardware.
Quest version 40 is out and it's causing some people some problems. The rollout is happening around the world over several weeks, and many Quest users are having trouble logging into their headsets. And then once they get in, they're having trouble with some apps. There are audio issues and other challenges, and Facebook Meta is working on some fast solutions. Luckily, it isn't widespread, so you may be one of the lucky ones.
No, I hope you are. Now,
Yeah.
Oculus AirLink Windows 11 juddering bug. We've been reporting on this for months. It's for over 7 months. It has been making life difficult for Quest AirLink users with Windows 11 due to they finally figured out GPU frame timing rates that are improved in Windows 11, but Meta is still supporting Windows 10 rates. So it actually Meta did not discover this, users did.
Figures.
And then
That figures.
yeah, and then had to convince Meta that this is what was going on. We've
Uh,
reported on some really hokey, silly solutions over the last few months, but it appears that Meta is finally working on a patch. They say it's in work, but we don't know. They don't have a release date yet.
oh boy, that figures. Well, at least
We're
they're
working
working
on it.
on
We
it
just don't know
anyway.
when. Yeah.
So, researchers at the University of Southern California
So
School of
exciting.
Engineering are
Mm.
exploring tactile sensations through haptic devices. It's coming soon. Well, I
Hmm.
don't know how soon, but they're
Well,
working on a way to add texture and tactile sensation in VR that emulates the feeling of rubbing your hand across tree bark or smooth metal, trying to figure out how to mimic the sensations of touch so it feels real for an AR user.
I don't know what haptic sensation would be to touch smooth metal. I don't know. That'd be fascinating. So research published in the IEEE Transactions in Haptics is that they are quite a ways off. So don't this ain't coming tomorrow. Um, but they've come up with a model that iteratively updates a virtual texture to match the real one through a form of haptic response. Now, we've shared this research, which is pretty amazing, at our News and Updates Discord. So it's a fascinating and powerful step in the right direction. And we recommend that you read it.
Microsoft Mixed Reality announced this week that Kawasaki, the company behind the motorcycles but also advanced robotics, will be a new customer for the HoloLens 2. They're using it on the manufacturing floor as well as with repairs and managing supply chains. The announcement came with the new term industrial metaverse, referencing enterprise use of metaverse technology.
Now, those embracing the industrial metaverse besides Kawasaki also includes Heinz ketchup. I love that. And there are other they
That's for
make
your
other things other
McDonald's
than ketchup.
hamburgers,
Yeah,
Laurel. That's
yeah,
yeah.
I know, but Heinz makes more than just ketchup, but they're using it in there, and Boeing and military agencies and things, and all kinds of manufacturers using this. I love that industrial metaverse. The announcement came with a comment from Microsoft CEO that not only is this an exciting time to be a pioneer in the industrial metaverse, but Microsoft has actually been ahead of the game in the VR business, developing headsets and technology for much longer. We seem to forget this than Facebook and Meta. And they have the jump on the advanced technology. And that, if you've ever tried, how many of you have tried the HoloLens one or two? Oh my God, it is really incredible. Its potential is just groundbreaking. So if you get a chance, do so. So I'm really really excited about that, and who knows what's going to happen.
Okay, and another little tidbit of good news here is that reports are still coming out that Microsoft's working on a consumer version of the
Mhm.
HoloLens, but it was delayed due to the pandemic. Wouldn't that
Mm.
be awesome? That would give us all access to Microsoft Mesh, I'm
Oh well,
sure.
not only mesh, but even beyond that, going, there's whole much more. But we live and dream, and what goes into the advanced units often filter down. That's at least that's what I
Mhm.
want to believe. All right, now
Yes.
let's explore some news from around the Meta Voice. News you need to know because it impacts all of us.
The winners of the Cannes Festival are Glimpse, an interactive animated film from Swan Song writer director Benjamin Cleary and Michael O'Connor, and The Soloist VR. Glimpse won the Veer Future Award for Best Interactive Experience. It follows a heartbroken panda who examines memories of his recent breakup with his dear girlfriend.
I don't know, a panda and a deer. And this is, I don't know, just not destined to survive very long. Anyway, Alex
Oh.
Honnold, I live in hope. The Soloist VR won the Veer Future Award for Best VR Story Prize. It follows Alex Honnold as he trains and prepares for a month-long trip to the European Alps with spectacular panoramic 360-degree VR filming technology. Congratulations to them and all the entries who helped drive VR entertainment forward.
A research study by Ipsos for the World Economic Forum finds that half of the adults across 29 countries know what the metaverse is and have a positive feeling about engaging with extended reality in daily life. I'm
Now, this
surprised
is
at
the
that.
study. Yeah, well, this is a study that is much better data than the other one that was a
Mhm.
tiny group of people. And this is 29 countries. With as with all studies, especially regional ones that cover a wide range of economics and cultures, two-thirds of people in China, India, Peru, Saudi Arabia, Colombia, and other emerging countries are excited about the future of the. And we're meeting here on AltSpace. It's so exciting. However, Japan, UK, Belgium, Canada, France, and Germany reported less enthusiasm. Well, they're not that enthusiastic of people, right? I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how. Yes, I'm very excited. I am thrilled to know and that the metaverse, that's, I don't know how they do
Uh,
it.
I think those are the people who you just ask about any phase of technology, and they're probably not that excited about it.
Yeah,
So,
I think you're right. It's
seriously,
all about context.
correct. Knowing what the metaverse is and how to use it are two very different things.
Hmm.
So they asked. 66% reported that the metaverse is ideal for virtual learning, and 62% reported that they thought it would change their lives when it came to virtual work settings. 52% and 48% saw value in the trading of digital assets and virtual travel and tourism.
And we've posted the survey information in our news and updates Discord for you to learn more about the study's results. It's really fascinating, so check it out.
For investors in the metaverse following Facebook Meta and NFTs, NFTs, I mean, the NFTs, NFTs, the news continues to be bad. NFTs are down in value up to 95% in some markets and continue to lose value and traction. Doesn't surprise me.
Yeah. Well, they were so hyper inflated.
Exactly.
Meta platforms erased 53 billion US dollars in market value. Oh yeah, just had it in my pocket. It just fell out. After their competitor, I just don't know what to do with 53 billion. Jeez.
Billion.
Billion. Yeah, I know, billion. After their competitor Snap announced a downgrade estimate in their future value due to macroeconomic environment challenges. Okay. Don't you love that? Macroeconomic environment challenges, breaking supply chains and labor disruptions, and the fact that half their employees are sick with COVID and not coming into work. Well, what do you think? But
Yeah.
their macroeconomic environment challenges. What the hell?
And this came the same week of Zuckerberg's announcement that stockholders had better just suck it up and realize that the company was going to plow just about everything into Meta and their headsets, and to expect major losses over the next 10 years.
This week, the warning from Snap and other news erased nearly 200 billion. Again, pocket change, right? 200
Wow.
billion in combined market value for social media and digital advertising companies, a sign of change in the market, as well as the overall global economy. We're going to be watching for you. We're going to be watching this.
We will. It's kind of hard to not to watch $200 billion, whatever it is.
Jeez.
Be aware. That's incredible. Be aware that reports are rising of cyber criminal scams and fraud for those people who are buying, selling, and investing in the NFT driven metaverse. Cyber criminals are using phishing links to imitate legitimate metaverse paying platforms and hack into digital wallets.
Now, luckily, we do not have to worry about that much here in AltSpace VR, but if you step outside of this bubble, play carefully and be safe. Now, in light of the growth of cybercrime, this is fascinating to me. A UAE minister this week claimed that the UN must step in to outlaw crimes in the metaverse and be the governing body of the international virtual social experience.
The United Arab Emirates Minister of State for Artificial Intelligence was specifically addressing the issue of laws preventing people from community crimes such as murder, personal threats and harassment, stalking, and holding others responsible for the results.
Now, when queried about murder, he described it as terrorizing people and then actually committing the act in the real world, or causing them to, but implied that at some point in the future we could actually murder each other in virtual spaces.
Oh no, we don't do things like that, do we?
Well, not here in AltSpace
I
VR.
see some emojis going up. I see the murderers out of the audience. Oh, take a look
We can
around.
think it.
They are among us.
I know.
Sorry, I couldn't resist that.
No, it's perfect.
Okay, so we've discussed the concepts of murder and other cyber crimes here, but the idea that the United Nations should be the law enforcement agency as they represent a wider global leadership in the world is really a fascinating one.
It is. We will be watching that one too. Now, a couple of weeks ago, we reported on new laws in Texas and Florida designed to punish social media platforms like Facebook and Twitter to force the companies to allow more free speech, including lies, conspiracy, and a freedom of speech without responsibility or consequences. Now, this could have a serious repercussion on not only social media, but social VR platforms in the metaverse.
This week, a federal appeals court
Unanimously.
unanimously,
Unanimously.
I can't get that out.
Your turn.
Oh, anyway, they all agreed and they concluded that that the law in Florida was an overreach and unconstitutional violation of the First Amendment. The ruling said that the government can't tell a private person or entity what to say or how to say it. This is one of many decisions that support this view.
Now, this is really important because it applies to all of us. They found that content moderation and curation is constitutionally protected. You may question a platform's policy, but you choose to play in their sandbox, thus must follow their rules. This helps to support the Allspace VR community standards and the terms of service the same way. You play in the sandbox, everybody needs to follow the same rules. You break the rules, I I can't tell you what a relief it is to finally have a federal court. Oh, I shouldn't say this. That has common sense. It's actually thinking. No, I didn't say that, did I? Okay. I'm so
Washington
relieved.
Washington, D.C. Attorney General Carl Racine is suing Mark Zuckerberg of Meta directly due to his alleged role in the Cambridge Analytica privacy scandal. For those who have forgotten, Zuckerberg and Meta hired the UK based Cambridge Analytica to collect user data without consent. Oh my. This led to an unprecedented security breach that exposed tens of millions of Americans' personal information, likely many more. And we wonder why people hate Facebook.
Ugh. This led to many years of Facebook Meta's misleading users and misdirecting investigators, believed to be led by Zuckerberg. And personal and private data continues to be sold and used on the dark web and not so dark on the shady web against individuals and businesses, often leading to fraud and identity theft with little recourse by the individuals. If you've ever had this happen, the next 5 years of your life sucks.
Mm. And the data was used in many ways in the 2016 US presidential election to influence people, and it helped to facilitate conspiracy theories. We're not sure how far this case of consumer protection violations will go. It will likely take many years, and we'll be here watching and waiting like most of you.
Now, indeed, we are aware that the abuse of our personal and private data continues in the metaverse with Meta leading the way with their popular headsets. So please be careful. Remove all personal and private data from your social media and metaverse profiles. And then search the web for services that are displaying or abusing your data and request removal. I found some, I'm so paranoid, you would not believe it. And I found a ton of personal information out there that just shocked me. It is a pain to request to have this be removed, but until there's a better way, maybe something will come of this lawsuit. It's part of our responsibility to clean it up. I think it is part of their responsibility to clean it up for us and pay us for the time and suffering, but I live in a fantasy world when it comes to these things. I do. I have spent whole days, months, years of my life dealing with this, and I want some compensation.
Oh, there you go. So Niantic's Lightship AR platform that hosts Ingress and Pokemon Go announced earlier this year that their platform, Lightship AR, is now open. And they are releasing their AR map for apps and location based social networking called, campfire.
Mhm.
Seems I've heard that word before. Not to be confused with the AltSpace VR campfire that no longer exists, but's all over the events um,
Eh,
list. This is
no,
likely the
that's not
driving
the
force.
campfire.
I know, but
Yeah.
they think it is. This is likely the driving force behind what will truly become the metaverse for most people.
Well, for those that are unfamiliar with Ingress and Pokemon Go, let's make this more real for you. July 1st through September, the Unboxed Festival in the UK will feature story trails. With the Story Trails app built with Niantic Lightship on your phone or your tablet, you'll be able to walk through and explore 15 villages in the UK and learn about its history and culture.
Led to geolocation based points, you will see an AR version overlay of stories and images that make the past come alive. Libraries and volunteers in each of the communities have been working for the past year to recreate history through AR and celebrate artistic and cultural history. If you live or plan on visiting the UK this summer, take advantage of this.
For those of you who live outside the UK or maybe even in it, consider working with this Lightship AR from Niantic to create your own local art and history experience in your own community. Check it out. Well, now it's time for world building. The AWE Augie Awards finalists were announced this week and include some of the most amazing work that features Unity virtual world building. Our beloved Big Rock Creative, formerly Black Rock City VR, the power production team behind the virtual Burning Man, is recognized for Best Art or Film with their BRC VR Burning Man here in Altspace VR. Their competitor in the category is Brianna's Garden Virtual Reality Experience, which is the tribute to Brianna Taylor. Now, good luck to both of them as the
Yes,
AWE
indeed.
starts this week.
Mm. Blender 3.2 is in beta with feature improvements to geometry nodes, grease pencil line art behavior, color management, and much more, including improving curve sculpt mode and OBJ imports.
As mentioned last week, Blender also announced that they will be returning to online and real world events, including the Annecy Festival in June in France, the SIGGRAPH in Vancouver in August, and the long ticket sale next month. So check them out. Now, Karen, have you checked out some of the new worlds in the updated features worlds list here in Altspace?
Well, you know, Laurel, yeah, a few, but not that many. And I need to spend more time exploring. You know, there's some incredible worlds and fantastic new builders showing off their stuff here in Altspace VR.
Indeed, there are. We love all the creativity. So we want to take a moment, as we do every week, to remind you, creative and talented world builders and event hosts, to unleash that creativity and not copy the work of others. Please be original.
Yes, we have so many incredibly creative and talented people here in Altspace VR that there's just no reason to copy. You know, create your own parody or slightly emulate, sure, but let's see your imagination shine as you make your worlds and events your own.
Now, the Educators in VR meetup, MRE meetup with Dargan, Samwise, and Carnegie this week took on the Red Branch of MRE SDK development. They showed off some amazing features and functions. Wow, it was so much fun. The next event is in a couple weeks, and you do not want to miss it. The team is not just dazzling us, they're helping us learn how easy it is to add programming functionality to your worlds. Well, thank you, team.
Yes, and this Wednesday, the Wednesday World Tours team is touring some incredible worlds here in Allspace VR to inspire and motivate you and help you see beyond the possible to express yourself and dazzle us with your creativity.
Hmm.
It's time now for our Discord tip of the week. Discord is our back channel communications tool used by Altspace VR and events and groups all across the Altspace VR community.
Now, playing with text posts in Discord can be really fun. Now, here's some goodies. There's a few goodies to add some power and punch to your messages.
The tilde symbol is the curly wave over the backtick key on your keyboard. If you add to before and after a sentence, you will make strike-through text. This is fun when you want to be a little shady and say something and self-correct it like Mark is a really terrible, strike that, fantastic producer. See, by crossing it out, we really didn't say that,
That's right.
right?
Yeah. See, didn't say it. Oh! Yeah, no, we're in trouble.
I could also say something about Mark right now and strike it out. He knows exactly what it is, but I'm not going to say it.
Okay, I know we're in trouble. We're going to get a lecture for this after the show. All right. Now, if you want to share something that has a spoiler in it, you little bugger, you. Discord makes that easy. See, he gets his revenge no matter what. There's no winning with Mark.
And
trust
it
me.
has to do with Discord. Yes.
Yeah, and he's the gift master of the world. You're lost going against him. Anyway, if he snuck that little sucker in there. If you want to share something that has a spoiler in it, Discord now makes it easy by allowing you to add the spoiler button. I'm not going to get through this. I really am. And the spoiler button looks like a little eye or in a box, or you can write or post links that include a spoiler content by simply putting two bars known as pipes on your keyboard, usually found above the backslash key. You'll see the content, but others won't till they click to reveal it. Yeah.
Simple and easy tricks to make your Discord experience more fun. We love Discord. Remember, if you have a Discord tip you would like to share with us, please let us know or share it on our News and Updates Discord.
And Mark, we love you. Have no doubt about that. And we love picking on you. It's just equal time, equal time. Now, before we get to some of the highlights of this week's events, let's see if we can help you with the web projector, a feature that is used in many events.
The web projector allows the host to share their screen, and it displays content from within the Edge browser through a Microsoft AltSpace VR add-on. Instructions on how to use it are in the AltSpace VR knowledge base documents, but the challenge comes with the changeover from the legacy login to the Microsoft login.
Now, according to those who've been successful, which many have, in making the transition, you begin by opening Microsoft Edge. Make sure you are logged out of both AltSpace VR and the web projector. Let me repeat that. Log out of AltSpace VR and the web projector in the Edge browser. Clear the browser cache to make sure, then log back into both. If you log into AltSpace VR first, then the web projector, you should be able to log in without entering anything into the email or passwords. It'll just recognize that you're logged in.
Yes, and again, make sure that you're logged out of the web projector completely from the legacy account. Then the web projector should work. Make sure you click Share Audio in the options, whether you are or not using audio, to ensure a solid connection into AltSpace VR.
We understand that many continue to face challenges with a Microsoft login, but most people are not having any issue and have already changed over in the past year or two. So this is an exciting shift, and we're eager for what comes next, even though the process can be a bit on the painful side. Now it's time to review just a few more of the more than 300 VR events that are here in AltSpace VR coming this week and beyond.
Tomorrow is another fun hangout with the LGBTQ plus and friends. This group is the oldest of its kind in the VR metaverse, founded right here in AltSpace VR. It's a great event and wonderful supportive group of people coming together to cheer each other on and just hang out. Don't forget that June is Pride Month, and AltSpace VR often lights up like a rainbow, as does this studio, as we all celebrate our pride, whatever flag you wave.
The Neurodiversity Lounge is here on Sunday as well. This is an open and safe environment to discuss ADHD and other neurodiverse challenges and experiences. It's a great way to share and connect with others and learn how to improve your own experiences.
We often report on the special events by the Pagans and VR group, but this week the Busy group will be hosting an open discussion on paganism, magic, and earth-centered spirituality. exploring one of the oldest spiritual beliefs in human history. The event is open to all, no matter what your religious beliefs are, as most are based upon these ancient traditions.
Improv night used to be right after this event. It's now on Mondays with Steven Shosecki. So follow them on the calendar and jump on stage to join them for some fun improvisation and theater experiences.
Speaking of theater, Educators in VR's popular theater team is hosting Professor Maxwell McGee, who is discussing the voice acting business on Wednesday. He's a voice you may have heard promoting movies, television ads, and even voiceover characters on video and VR games. He'll be sharing his vast experience and expertise on the business of voice acting and how to maintain and protect your voice. In social VR, voice is critical, especially for events and gaming, so don't miss this.
Tales from Africa continues to bring the wonder and the history and magical stories of life and culture of Africa into AltSpace VR. Wayaki is hosting the event again on Thursday, and this is a wonderful experience to learn more about this ancient and beautiful area of the world.
Cyberbullying and cybercrimes, as we've mentioned here, continue to be of growing concern. This Thursday, Educators in VR will be discussing these topics at the bi-monthly cyberbullying team meeting. If you have not attended these yet, you are missing some fascinating discussions. Check it out this Thursday.
Camp Videogasm is back this week with storytelling on the playa here in AltSpace VR. Check it out as part of the promotion and preparations for Burning Man this summer.
Simulation Nation is here Friday with another AltSpace VR world builder. This time, Dr. Jose Ferrer, builder of unique worlds for educators in VR, his innovative wellness and meditation spaces, and his amazing 12 World album launch party event recently. He will be sharing his insights and experiences on building an AltSpace VR and pushing the boundaries of unity.
Now, we are hearing concerns from some people regarding some paid classes that are here in AltSpace VR. The information provided does not lead to a legitimate website, and there are some little evidence that validates their expertise or their qualifications.
Before you hand over money for anything in AltSpace VR, please verify and validate its legitimacy. AltSpace VR cannot be responsible for false advertising, fraud, or financial transactions through third parties. So check, check, check.
And we remind you again, if you encounter an event that doesn't match the description or expectations, or you feel violates the AltSpace VR community guidelines and terms of service while the event is active, you may report it in World by going to the event and clicking on Info, then Report.
You can also report positive feedback and rate events as well when they are live, which helps the event host in AltSpace VR know when events are successful.
Now, this is just a few of the highlights of more than over 300 events that are here in AltSpace VR. We can't keep up with them. The schedule changes often, so please check the website and the in-world calendar to stay up to date.
Check out the channels to find the events to tickle your fancy and amuse your spirit. If you don't see something that interests you, start your own event and let us know about it by posting it in the News and Updates Discord. The creativity and event types and styles is stunning, and we love sharing your events here.
And we'll do our best to bring you the highlights from this ever-growing community, and we are so glad that you're here to share it with us. Now, that is all for this week's news and updates. Thank you for joining us here every week and celebrating almost 4 years of news and updates. Holy cow. We do this for you every Saturday to help you become a more informed community. We have some fun events coming soon, so keep an eye on our Discord and our news and updates channel here in AltSpace VR for updates.
Laurel, I thought I heard a millisecond of a drum roll. I wonder if Mark is trying to multitask too much.
He is. He is.
Okay, when news you need to know happens, we share it in our News and Updates Discord so you get the news through the clutter of information. Please tell a friend and share our Discord and YouTube channels so others can keep up with the news in and around AltSpace.
We live stream the news onto YouTube and Twitch every week, so you can catch up with past episodes and learn more about AltSpace VR events, projects, news, and community activities. No excuses. This is a labor of love, and we love our volunteer team members who help us gather the news as reporters, moderators, and help us put the show together every week.
We do this for you for free. We are not AltSpace VR employees. Our team works hard each week to gather the news and information to help our community keep up with everything going on here in AltSpace VR.
If you'd like to join our news and updates team, please let us know after the show. We're always looking for reporters, photographers, script writers, mods, and more. Come join us. This is your show as much as ours, and we'd love you to be a part of it.
Thank you to all of our news and updates volunteers and moderators who help make this event such a success. Thank you, thank you, thank you. To all of our Russian and Ukrainian friends and community members, we are here with you. Stand tough, stand up, stay cool, and most of all, in these uncertain times, please, please, everyone be safe wherever you are in the world.
Yay. Thank you, Karen.
Thank you, Lorel. And thank you, Mark. I'd like to give you a hard time, but thank you.
Now somebody tell Charlie Zero to wake up.